Hi and welcome to Yoga with Stacey Turner. Today's session will be a shorter Vinyasa style session for those of you that might be a little bit shorter on time but still looking to move with the flow of yoga. So let's begin either in a kneeling posture, Vajrasana Thunderbolt pose, or you might prefer to be in an easy cross-legged position, Sukhasana or Sudarsana. And once you've chosen your arrival position, close down your eyes. Begin to deepen your breath for a few cycles here. Relax your shoulders. Soften the skin on your face. And allow your seat to be heavy, down towards the earth. Take one more long, deep breath wherever you are. And start to bring some gentle movement to your body. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Maybe a lift of your chest. And then a rounding of your spine. And you can move with your breath organically, innately, as feels good for you. And come back to a neutral spine, float your hands to heart center. And take a moment to set an intention here. And as always, let's open with the sound of one Om chant together. Inhale deeply to prepare. As we feel the vibration resonate through our bodies, it reminds us how blessed we are to be alive. And gently blink open your eyes. And find your way into all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers wide and plug down through all four corners of your palms. And up to you whether you have the tops of your feet pressing into your mat or have your toes curled under. From here, inhale your heart forward. And exhale to round through your spine. Take two more of these, in and out. Last one. Come back to neutral for a moment. Take a breath here. And then let's do it in reverse. So this time, inhale, draw your belly in. Exhale as you open up your chest, tailbone towards the sky. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale to open up. One more time in. And out. Inhale back to neutral. Curl your toes if they're not already. As you exhale, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. As you inhale, float your right leg to the sky. Bend your knee and stack your hips, heel to opposite buttock. Lengthen your leg back behind you. And then start to ripple through. Bring your knee towards your nose and step your foot through to the top of your mat. If it doesn't make it first time, feel free to grab hold of your ankle with your hand. And then lower your back knee to the floor. Scissor your legs towards one another. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, land a little deeper into the lunge. Take another breath here in. And out. And then take your hands to the floor. Straighten both legs, lift your hips up. And you can have your hands to a block, to a chair, or to the floor. And draw your right hip back and your left hip forward in a long pyramid pose here. Press into the ball of your front foot as you keep your hips square. Take another breath here. Bend into your front knee. Sweep your right leg back to sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips for a moment. And then lower your leg back to the earth. Second side, inhale, left leg to sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips, heel to opposite buttock. Lengthen your leg back behind you. And then sweep your leg through towards the top of your mat again, using your hand if you need a little more assistance getting it towards the top. Scissor your legs towards one another. Inhale, rise. Exhale, land. Take another breath here. Soften your hands to the floor. Straighten both legs as you draw your hips up and back. Long pyramid, Parsvottanasana. Left hip back, right hip forward. Hands can be to a support prop, a chair, a block, or the floor. And enjoy another breath here. Before you bend into your front knee, sweep your left leg back to sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips, and then lower your foot back to the earth. Ribble through into your plank. Option to lower your knees if you'd like. And then lower your body all the way down between your hands. As you inhale, take a baby cobra, shoulders back and down, firm belly. And then press off knees or toes to the top of your plank. Curl your toes under, hips high, downward facing dog. Take another breath or two here. Inhale your right leg to sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips, heel to opposite buttock. Lengthen your leg back behind you. Sweep it through to the top of your mat. Option to lower your back knee like we did before, or you can keep it raised. Rise up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, land. Take another breath or two here. And then sweep your hands around to your hips. Straighten your front leg and spin your toes to the side of your mat. Slight pigeon toe of your big toes. Lengthen up through your spine. Keep your hands to your hips and start to fold forward. And you can stay here with hands to hips, or you can bring your hands to your chair, your block, or the floor. Maybe you start to bow a little closer towards the earth. You might like to walk your hands back in line with your toes. Start to walk your hands back out. Underneath your face, I'll mirror you, your right hand to the floor, your left hand to the sky. And then take it over to the other side. Plant your left hand down, sweep your right arm to sky. Lower your hand back down. Bring your hands to your hips. Lead back up with your heart. And then spin towards the back of your mat. Deep bend into your left knee, strong and straight into your right leg. Sweep your fingertips high to sky. And land a little deeper into the pose. Take another breath or two here. And then frame your front foot. Step your left leg back to sky. Bend your knees, stack your hips, heel to opposite buttock. And then lower it to the earth. Take a breath or two in your down dog. Option to stay here or flow through your vinyasa. You can ripple forward. Inhale. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, back bend, cobra, or if you're ready, upward facing dog. And press over knees or toes, hips high. Downward facing dog. Taking it in the opposite direction this time. Inhale, left leg to sky, bend your knees, stack your hips, heel to opposite buttock. Lengthen your leg back behind you and then bring your foot through to the top of your mat. Keep your back knee raised this time and rise up to sky. And land deeper into the pose. Circle your hands around to find your hips. Straighten your front leg. Spin your toes again to the side of your mat. Square your feet. Lengthen up through your spine and start to hinge from your hips. You can stay here with hands to hips or hands to block, chair or floor. And start to bow here, maybe a little deeper if that feels good for your body. Remember, this is your practice, so listen to what your body is asking you for. Take one more breath here. Some of you might be able to grab hold or might like to grab hold of your ankles. Maybe draw yourself in a little deeper. And keep a slight micro bend in your knees if you need to take the pressure off the deep stretch through the backs of your legs. And then start to walk your hands back out. Take one hand to the floor, sweep up to sky. Exhale back down. Take it over to your second side. And sweep it back down. And bring your hands to your hips, lead up with your heart. Spin to bend into your right leg to face the front of your mat again and sweep your arms high to sky. Deepen into your front leg. Take one more breath here. And then frame your front foot. Sweep your right leg back to the sky. Bend your knee, stack your hips heel to opposite buttock. And then lower it to the earth. Take a breath or two here. And you can stay here in your down dog, or always the option to come to child's pose if you'd like. Or other option is to flow through a vinyasa. You can ripple forward into your plank, option to lower your knees and lower your body down. Inhale, heart forward, back bend. And exhale. Over knees or toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Take a breath or two here. Lower your knees to the earth. Come to sit down onto your hips. Take your legs out in front of you. We'll just finish off with a forward fold here. So legs out in front, feet flexed. Inhale, arms to sky. As you exhale, fold forward towards your feet. You can have your hands on your thighs, your shins, your ankles, or towards your feet. Wherever they fall this morning or this afternoon, whatever time of day you're doing this, is great. And then allow your body to forward fold. Maybe you drop your chin towards your chest. And continue to keep a smooth, even breath here. Take one final breath. And gently unravel through your spine. If you have time, you're welcome to take a little shavasana. Maybe set a timer with some music for 5 or 10 minutes. And just take some time to lay yourself down in a comfortable position and enjoy a bit of a stretch. Thank you for joining me today. If you did enjoy this shorter style session, please do let me know. Otherwise, thank you for joining me. Feel free to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.